Okay.
All right. Now it's my turn to talk. Okay. So I went over some of this. So for a couple of you, it's going to kind of be repetitive. Some of it going over it, and I know that I'm not sure if everybody got on the wake up call. So there's a lot of stuff that I know you guys and my team and everybody, it's the time of year that we're struggling with when it comes to, it just seems to be really slow. And then obviously there's certain people that are doing really well, and then it tends to even bring you down even more. Like, I don't know about you guys, but you know, it's like up and down all the time, right? So you start to do really, really well, or it's really, really slow, and then it can either pull you right back or it can push you forward. So it can go one of two ways. So a couple things that I really liked on the wake up call. I don't know if you guys, when any of you went to Super Saturday, I know a couple of you guys did, but the vital process is like key. It was something that we've all talked about before, but it was definitely something that hit home. And it's definitely something that I myself have implemented and started to focus on. And Aunt Julie has started to do that too. And it's made a huge difference, and it's been a game changer. But so what I'm going to focus in with you guys is I talked to Jen, and we talked a little bit about the hype. So, and about how everybody's just kind of feeling like they're kind of in that funk and they're just ready to get out of it, but you don't know how to do it. And so there's a lot of different things like that we chat about. And the thing about the business is everybody has a different approach, right? So sometimes, you know, what works for Jen works for Jen. What works for me works for me. And what you have to understand is that you have to make your business individually. So something that, you know, I basically talked with my team the other day about doing is really taking a step back, forgetting everything for just 5 minutes. Literally, whether you want to do it on this call or whether, you know, it's basically just an exercise. Just go somewhere by yourself and really, really, truly think about what it is you want. What it is you want long term. We can all sit there and go, oh, yeah, I would just love to retire my husband and, you know, live in a mansion. Sounds great. But I'm talking like really think about it. Be realistic. Do you want to make 6 figures in a year? Do you want to, what is it that you want to do? You know, what would it do for your family? What would it do for you? What would it do for your kids? If you really sit back and think about it, and this is where dreaming comes into play, right? And you guys see my posts all the time. I am like a firm believer in if you really, really, truly want something, you can make it happen. The problem with that is that so many people, they maintain that mindset for a really small amount of time, right? So you say that because you're having a good day and you wake up and you're feeling refreshed and you're able to sit in front of your computer and get some work done. You feel great. And all of a sudden, you know, that dream board that you've created, and if you haven't created, you should, you know, all of a sudden it's in play. And then all of a sudden you have like 2 shitty days and you're like, oh, screw it. I only have a week left. There's no way I'm doing it this month. And then you just leave it. So it's like all of a sudden, your dreams are only good for the days that you're feeling good about yourself. So this is where, Aunt Julie, listen, if we're going to do photos, we just wait until everybody's ready. Sorry, guys, it's like a constant problem on my team calls. So really taking a step back and thinking about it. And I know it's hard. And, you know, like my thing in the beginning when I started, a lot of the time is what I would do is I would give examples of like top coaches. And I used Stephanie Davies as an example all the time. And I know it's kind of corny because she's our upline coach and it's somebody we see every day. But there was something that really, really hit home with me and when watching her video. And that was, I don't know if you guys seen it. If you haven't, I'll post it on In New Direction or in Fierce and Sassy, is, you know, her first $20,000 week. So she was only a coach for a year and a half, and she had her first $20,000 week, right? So when you sit there and you listen to somebody and you see somebody as genuine as her telling you and sobbing about it out of excitement from somebody who's literally went from the bottom and moved to the top all because of her hard work, you know, that's something that just hit home for me. And I get it. I have days too where I sit there and I have all these great plans that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do, you know, like all my vital behaviors, and I'm going to check in with all my coaches, and I have a to-do list that's 2 pages long. and then I just don't do it. It's like, I don't know, something comes up or you're not in the mood for it. But then when I sit there and I look back, and a perfect example, and I'm going to try not to butt too much into Aunt Julie's call, but I'm just so excited because we had that week together, is when something hits you and you're having a good day, you need to maintain the momentum and not let it die. You know, you can't let that momentum die ever. So if you made your first sale or you signed your first coach, or maybe you went Emerald, you have to push forward with that momentum. And there's different ways you have to do this, right? You can't depend on your upline to answer all your questions. I'm really big on, almost every time I do a live call or a live video thing in my group, anytime I do a team Zoom, I always tell people, if you want information, then go and find it. And, you know, I do have a very blunt approach when it comes to certain stuff like this, because I was not brought into this business to be anybody's boss. I was not brought into this business to carry people. I was brought in this business to lead people, which means all of the information that we have, so me, myself, Jen, Julie, all the information that we have, you guys have it too. You have access to it, but you have to learn for yourself. And I don't know about you guys, but anything that is self-taught, that I've taught myself, is going to stay there, right? To me, it's like, if I've had to take the time out of my day to find this information, then it's going to stick with me, right? Yes, Lyle. Good night. Love you. Sorry. He just always tends to show his face on my calls. So that I always just have to put in there, because I find, you know, people want the answers, and if they don't have the answers, then they feel like they are not going to be as, you know, like, well, I can't do this because I don't understand. Well, if you can't do something because you don't understand it, then your job is to learn it so that you can duplicate it and so that you can express it to people. You know, we're lucky enough that we have each other there to support each other all the time. But at the end of the day, it's going to feel really, really good for you and for your business when you've taught yourself something and you've incorporated everything that you've learned into your business, and it doesn't have to be the same as anybody else's, right? And, you know, long story short, for myself, it was a huge eye-opener, is because I tried to follow what people were doing. So Jen's my coach. So when I signed up, I seen her doing well, and she was posting her sweaty selfies, what she ate, and then talking about, you know, like she went to a Super Saturday. So in my mind, when I signed up as a coach, that's what I thought I had to do. And in the beginning, yeah, it was great. It was working, but it was working because I was working on my warm network, right? Like my friends and my family. So I was getting the Success Club points, and I was reaching out to people that I felt comfortable doing that with. But then as I went along, I realized Jen and I have very different personalities. We have very different ways of doing things. And so if I'm constantly trying to be like somebody I'm not, then ultimately this business is just going to fall flat for me. It's going to fail, or I'm going to no longer have that love and passion that I have, right? So as soon as I made that transition, and if you scroll back far enough into my page, you can literally see that transition in my business, where I decided that I was going to be me, that it was okay to curse and swear because that's what I do. You know, it's okay to be sassy and express my personality because that's the type of people that I want to attract, because those are the type of people that I surround myself with and that I click with. Not that Jen and I don't click. I'm just saying our personalities, you know, in some ways are different. So I didn't want to duplicate what she was doing, because that wasn't me in certain aspects. I mean, we all do the same thing in certain ways when it comes to our workouts and food and challenge groups and stuff. But what I know, I'm a deep thinker. I know I'm a writer. And so I like to talk about that stuff. I like to talk about my life story, and I got a lot to share. So you really, really have to pull yourself back and think about who you are, what it is you want. And then what you have to do is you have to think, how am I going to get there? And I hate to say this, and you guys can all roll your eyes or do whatever you want, but I've talked to Jen about it, and I've talked to Aunt Julie about it, And honest to God, it comes down to the 4 vital behaviors. And I hate to say it, and I wish there was some magic, anything I could give you, but there's not. And that's the reason why that's what the business is the top coaches in this company are simply doing the 4 vital behaviors, but they're doing it better than us. That's why they're successful. That's all it is. And and I'm being so honest with you. And I think the problem with this is people don't want to do it. It's not fun to message 50 people. That's not the exciting part about our job. It's not fun all the time to read a book, when you're going, this is taking up half an hour of my day when I could be trying to sell a challenge pack, and so everybody's mindset is focused in on comparison and on thinking that there's some special way that other people are doing it, when really there's nothing special. There's nothing special about it. Jen hits high Success Club points every month because she messages like a motherfucker. And I know she does. And she adds people every single day. And I can tell you, and I spied on my team, and it was kind of fun actually, because you just watch how many friends they have, and then you check in a week later and you look at your book and you're like, oh shit, you got 1 new friend. Good job. Well, guys, it's the truth. If you're not adding to your network, then you're not adding new people to get to see what you're doing every day. And you can say, oh, well, I forget. I don't know about you guys, but my light's on for 3 minutes before I go to bed. 3 minutes is what it takes to add somebody. It doesn't take more than that. So you need to write a list, write out your 4 vital behaviors, write it on your forehead, your mirror, wherever you want to, but you need to be adding people. You need to be messaging people every single day, and you need to be working on yourself. So as much as I would love to give you guys this exciting big, it's like a diet pill, I don't have that. There's no such thing. We know there's no magic drug. It's the same as there's no magic secret to this business. It's working hard and investing in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, that includes your time. So that's, as much as your excuses, I get it. I am the queen of excuses. My excuse for 2 months, was all of the bullshit I had going on at home, and it really pulled me back. But no matter what, even though I was in a situation where I could have just threw my hands up, I still hit Success Club all 3 of those months, and I still posted every single day, 3 to 5 times a day. And they may not have been the best for content. They may not have been what I wanted to do, but I did the bare minimum. So did my business grow in that time period? Absolutely not. But did I let go of it and to disappoint myself? No, I didn't do that either. It's a consistency. It's constantly built on consistency. And it's, it's the same stuff you guys hear every day. And it becomes redundant sometimes. And I think what happens is people get really discouraged because they often will send out, 10 messages in a day, want a pat on the back, and then get all down and out about the fact that nobody responded to them. I don't know about you guys, but I get ignored every single day. I get deleted every single day. It's, I get hate mail. I think Jen may be the only one that's ever read some of the hate mail that I've got, but you guys, trust me, I should have brought it up to share it to you guys. So if you want to talk about discouraging, I could read you something that would discourage you so much, which will be enough to make anybody want to quit. But it's honestly comes back to your mindset, and it goes back to your why. It's all these basic, simple steps that I know Jen talks about all the time. I know I talk about your why you're here, why you're doing it, and you need to focus on that. I wish Terry Lynn was on this call because she, I remembered walking into her house, and I walked up to her door and there was shit written on her front door. And then I walk into her house and there was shit written on a mirror. And it's just everywhere. If that's what you have to do, then that's what you do. My Aunt Julie's hallway has Bristol board with shit written all down the hallway. I was like, whoa, okay, she's not messing around, Yeah, it's not the prettiest decor, but yeah, shit's obviously doing something, right? It's those constant reminders, putting stuff there every single day. My biggest focus is waking up in the morning and remember why I'm doing it. Trust me, I don't want to get up in the morning and do it. I don't like talking to people in the morning. Like, I don't like people at that time of day. I don't like people until the afternoon. But I know that I have to do that. And I have to focus in on what it is that I want every single day. And I think people lose track of that. And I think that people often, they'll go through a phase where they're like, I want to, you know, if you were at Summit, I know, okay, so it's just the three of us on here that went to Summit. When you're watching them walk up there and you're watching the top 10 speak, it sends this like, this sensation through your body where it's like, I want that. I want to be standing up there. And so you get this hype and your brain won't stop going and it won't stop going. Well, what you guys need to find is you need to find that momentum. You need to find what it is you want. You know, we can sit there and we can look and follow top coaches all you want. You're more than welcome to do that. But watching them is not going to get you to where they are. They have to step outside and do scary shit. You have to do things that are going to make you uncomfortable. And sorry, I'm like, huh? Am I missing something? Sorry, never mind. So yeah, squirrel, hold on. Yeah, so you really have to, it goes back to realizing how much you want it. And I understand about losing sight of it. And I've even sat there some nights and been like lying in bed going, is this really something I want to do? Is this really something that's going to get me to where I want to be in my life? And I sit there because it's easier to think, this isn't for me. But then it's all of a sudden Thursday hits and it's like all these, you know, qualifications and all these new, you know, rank advancements. That's the word I was looking for. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, shit. And I think the problem too is that a lot of people I know for my team haven't invested the time in understanding what this business can do for you. They don't understand the financial aspect and they don't understand. They're like, okay, well, how are these people making money? How are they doing that? Because if you haven't advanced your business to a certain state, you're sitting there and you're basing it on, you know, on commission. So it's like money drives people, right? And Aunt Julie's really going to go over that, but it really drives and pushes people. So you have to find what drives you. I know that, you know, money definitely motivates me. Recognition, and I'm not afraid to, you know, admit that. Recognition really motivates me. You know, being able to meet people when I went to Edmonton that knew who I was and they actually, you know, came to me, it was like, oh shit, you know? And so it's just that, it's that feeling and you've got to find that feeling. If you're not waking up, it's the same thing that we tell our challengers, right? So you're going over telling your challengers, you have 21 days is all you need to do, you know, to change your body and to do all this stuff. So you're telling them that. Well, what if I told you that in 21 days, you could have 20 new people on your team? And you can't say I'm crazy because she did it. So it happens, right? So it can happen, but it was literally sitting down and yes, you sacrifice your time. Yes, you have to get up an hour earlier. You have to go to bed an hour later. You have to message not 10 people, maybe try messaging 100 people. You have to do the vital behaviors. You don't do the vital behaviors, your business won't grow. Bottom line. And I say it and I am firm with it. And I am the worst when it comes to personal development reading, but every single day, if I know I don't want to read my book, I listen to Gary Vee every day because he speaks to me. Find somebody that speaks to you. Find somebody that gives you that boost, right? Like, and for me, it's Gary Vee because I think sometimes I feel like he's the only person alive that's as sassy as I am. So it's like, ooh, he's even more badass than I am. So it clicks with me and it motivates me to do it, right? So I can tell you There's nothing that I'm going to tell you that other people are not going to tell you or give you the advice. It's the same stuff, but I'm telling you, if your business is not moving forward, you're not doing it. It's just that simple. And you know, I've been guilty of it. I was right down to the pinch this month in October, the last day of the month. You know, the last day of the month I hit Success Club. I've never done that, but I just, you know, I lost it. And if I wouldn't have went to Edmonton, I still probably would have been in that funk. I had to find something to inspire me. And you guys have to do the same thing, right? You have to search for something that's going to move you forward. And ultimately what that's going to start with is focusing in on your why. And we say it all the time, your why should make you cry, right? And if it doesn't, then you're not digging deep enough. Because everybody on this call right now is completely capable of doing everything that Jen's doing, I'm doing, Aunt Julie's doing, the top coaches are doing. There's nothing different about these people. And I don't know if you guys are going in and following these people, but we all start at the same spot. You know, we all start off doing the exact same thing. We all walk into this business knowing nothing. So there's, you know, to make an excuse, well, she's just good at it. No, she's not just good at it. She busted her ass for it. That's the difference. So if you're not doing something, it's simply because you have it's the same as our challengers and getting the results from programs. I tell people all the time, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get good results. Not my problem. That becomes yours. If you chose to eat cupcakes when you're not supposed to, I'm not the one that feeds you. I'm here to help you and give you advice and motivate you and encourage you, but I don't spoon feed you, right? So those are it's the same as the business. And I know it sounds harsh. I'm not here to spoon feed anybody. I'm here for myself and my family and to help other people see the opportunity, learn the opportunity, and the people that want it bad enough are going to be the people that run with it. The people that don't want it bad enough and don't have a reason why to push forward, those are the people that are going to sit at the borderline, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a coach as a hobby. There's nothing wrong with just, you know, wanting a couple extra $100 a month. I totally get it. You know, some people love their careers and don't want to lose that. But if you're one of those people that when you signed up for this and you thought it was going to be easy, and you're the one that's, you know, going, oh, well, maybe this isn't for me. Take a step back and go, what have I really done? You know, what have I really, I don't know about you guys, but I should go get my calendar and I should hold it up and tell me if you see any blank space in there. There's none, right? So that's because it's not a job where you get to work 8 to 4. Your message, you know, if you have to pick times, and I believe in scheduling, yes, but you know, there's sacrifices you have to make. So ultimately, that's what it's going to be. If you guys don't know, I won't go on too much longer because I know Aunt Julie has her piece, but really what it boils down to and is investing in yourself, and yourself is the most, like, you're the most important piece, right? Your transformation and making the change for yourself is going to it will shine through. You know, people will see that, and you have to continue to do that and work on yourself. And as you grow, your business will grow. And it's the same line. If you ask the girls, I say it almost every single time. If you're not growing, your business isn't growing. You need to be bettering yourself, not just physically, not just by being a product of the product because it's a vital behavior, but, you know, on the inside too, and learning and teaching yourself over and over and over again. And so that's the first investment that you make into the business. And then I'm going to, now you got up and walked away, Julie. Now, so just to give you a little rundown, I didn't do the exact math, but I'm thinking it's around 15 or 16 coaches Aunt Julie has added in the past 3 weeks This is also including her hubby's business center. I believe she's hit Success Club so far already this month, and I believe her hubby is at 4. So
we're both at.
Oh, you're both at 4? Okay, so they're both at 4. So they're both 1 away from Success Club already this month, and we're at the 9th. And just continuously adding to the team. So I'm going to let her go, and I'm going to go pee, and then I'll be right
back. That's what I was going to do. Oh, and when she said, I'm going to let her do her piece, it sounded like she said herpes, and I just, oh, it made me laugh. Yeah. All right. So I don't know where I should start. I made some notes, but I'm not good at keeping to them. So I will just go with what I have. Hopefully it makes sense, because I'm like Amanda and it's like squirrel. All right. So this is investing in yourself. I'm going to say it like, this is a business, right? This is what you want. You want to grow a business. What business do you know that you can start with a challenge pack? So say like $200 and make $1 million off of it. I'm pretty sure like Tim Horton didn't start with, $100 and then build his shack. He had to put something into it, right? So first you need to invest in yourself. And this is getting back to basics. PD, personal development. I was the worst one. You're told to do something over and over and over again. And I was like, yeah. I kept brushing it off, and I'm horrible. I've been a coach for how long? Do you know when I first read my PD book, my very first one? September. That's horrible. But just shit, I thought you were gone. So yeah, but I picked it up and it was actually no excuses. Well, I made excuses as to why I didn't want to finish it. I'd read a couple pages. Oh shit, well, I'm too busy. I'm too this. And I actually still didn't finish that book. But I decided the compound effect. It appealed to me. I picked it up, and this was the end of September. I read that. I committed to reading 20 pages a night. I read every single night without fail, no matter what. I got into bed. I used my phone, read 20 pages, or until I fell asleep. Did that every single night. And I've read The Compound Effect, You Are a Badass, and Go Pro in October. 3 books in 1 month. And I tell you guys, huge game changer. Like when they say read personal development, read personal development. Like they tell you to do that for a reason. So when I wasn't being successful, there's part of the reason. I wasn't doing what you're supposed to be doing. And like Amanda said, everybody does the same thing. Like everybody that's successful, they're not doing anything different. They're just doing what they're supposed to every single day. So there's that on PD. If you're not doing it, do it. Go invest the $10 to buy a book, The Compound Effect, and You Are a Badass. Everybody should read what? Amanda. Yes, Amanda.
I was like, what, Amanda? God, I know we're family, but like, kill the fuck out, right? No, what I was just going to say about PD is a good point that I really made too, is I showed actually Aunt Julie when I went to Edmonton. When I do my personal development, I actually sit there with a pen and paper. And if I don't have my notebook, I have a highlighter at least. And I will literally read, a lot of the times I will read out loud, and even little, I'm sharing my book right now. Like even just little blurbs, or if I listen to Gary Vee, I'll sit there and I literally watched one 10-minute video and I had, 6 pages of just quotes or little things. And then I would take that. So I would read it, write it, and then I'd read it again. And then I'd implement that into my posts, because what personal development actually does, and this is what I've really worked on my team with, and sorry to point you out, Tabitha, but it's really helped people with what they're posting and the content of their posts, right? Like if you go back to when I first started, I was not, writing the way I was writing. I didn't think the way I think. it's definitely personal development is because it's developing you. It's helping you grow as a person. So it's actually teaching you something as you're reading it. And it's funny to really watch where the content of people's posting is really different. And Julia reads at nighttime. I'm one of those people before I do any work, I read or I'll watch, watch personal development because that's easier for a lot of people. And then it's like, yeah, fucking right, Gary Vee, we're doing this. And then I'm hammering down and I'm going on my computer. So just like a key point with that is, if you're just reading and skimming it, don't read and skim it. Take a highlighter, dirty up that book with, all kinds of colors, and then implement it into your post, because that's where you're going to get the content. And so you read it, you write it, and then you're writing it again because you're putting it into your content, into your posts. And now it becomes natural, right? It becomes natural to you, and it's actually teaching you to start to think that way and to alter your mindset.
Oh, I guess I'll just pay attention when you mute yourself to know that I can talk again. All right, so there's PD and how to do that. So the next thing in investing into a business, investing into yourself. So while PD is part of it, you have to do the daily vitals. Like you have to do your workout. You have to drink your shake. You have to do your PD. I already said that. Okay, I wrote that twice, so sorry. The next big thing that changed for me, don't laugh at me, Jesus, this is cash, is going to any events you can. So I already told my team to book January 7th off, or the ones that are close enough to go to Calgary, because I'm going to buy everybody a ticket so they can go to a Super Saturday. That is huge, guys. Huge. When you're in a room, well, it's like these guys when they went to Summit. When you're in a room surrounded by people that are like-minded, they want what you want, and other people are successful and they're talking on stage, and it's just like the atmosphere was so amazing, especially being this far from Tony Horton. That was pretty exciting too. But it is just completely, I don't know, you change how you look at the business. It's so motivating, and I don't know, makes you want to dig in and just fucking give her. Sorry guys, I can't control the F-bombs. So that is another huge thing. Super Saturdays. The Dollars to Diamonds group. Okay, I don't know what motivates everybody. For me, it's money. It's always been money. I love it. It's wonderful. You can buy pretty things. I know that's horrible, but money is huge for me. So being in this Dollars to Diamonds group, there was a cash pot for $20,000. Pretty motivating, right? Well, it wasn't until, what was that, Amanda, 3 days before the deadline? We were like, fuck, you're so close. You're so close. You just need this, and this. So I'm like, oh, she's so excited, and I'm so excited. And I was like, okay. So I just started messaging people like crazy, following up, just bam, 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 bam. This is what I got to do. And then I did it. I did it. I got a spot in that cash pot. Now that was huge, and that's what helped me just keep on going. So yes, the main thing was my lovely niece coach who got me to give her. Going to the Super Saturday, everything happened in that weekend, and it was just so message like a bugger, run challenge groups, following up with people. When they say message 5 people, message 10, message 20, send as many messages as you can. Don't talk just about Beachbody. Actually, have meaningful conversations. Even if you start 20 conversations with people and don't mention about Beachbody at all, I guarantee you 10 of those conversations are going to come around to, oh, what is that you're doing? I see you doing that Work Me Out Wednesday. You're crazy. I don't know why you do that, for people to watch you. But people are always watching. So they're going to come up to you and they're going to message or say something to you when you're talking to them. 90% of the people that I do know that I do that Work Me Out Wednesday. which is fun and interesting. And the first time I did it and went live, I was scared as hell. I was so nervous, and I was just like, I don't even know what to do. But then I just did it. I went with it. Turned out great. I have lots of conversations every week from doing that. Right, what else? That's another big thing, guys. Like, oh, Amanda wants to talk again. Oh,
No, I was giving you a signal for what something to say, smartass. But now I won't even tell you. Keep going.
help, please. What were you going to say?
I was gonna, because you were talking about how people are motivated by money, right? And how, just on different things that you've invested in. So something as simple as a ticket to go to a Super Saturday,
Oh, yeah.
or, what was the other thing that the Josh Coates training, she paid $100 for training.
Yeah, they have all kinds of trainings, guys. Like, there's the TKO. They're a really big group that always does trainings, and if we see them, then we'll pass them down. But yeah, I did the Josh Coach training. It was $100. It was 8 weeks. But that was another, like, a lot of the things he said was just, it clicked. And it's like, well, I never thought of it like that. And it gives you all kinds of new ideas and new perspectives. Same with, I did another one with, I can't remember all the girls' names. But if there's a training and it's, under $200, then I'm going to go for it. But that's another thing. A lot of people will pay to do the trainings. They'll watch, the first few videos, and then they just won't even bother. So when you pay for something, get your money's worth. Like, go till the end, see what it's all about. Like with Josh Coates, I was slacking off at the end, and then I was like, well, shit, Jesus, that's $100. Why would I just waste that? So then I took a day and caught back up on everything. But little did I know, the group's still open, so I can still go back and check in on things that I missed. What else for groups? Yeah, I think we're doing a Push to Emerald group, or Emerald Again, whatever, guys. And that's what? Are you doing $5, $10 buy-in? 5? Yeah, $5, easy. And then it's just to training on how to go Emerald, or help you go Emerald. $5 is minimal, guys, and it's a group. Do it. I'm going to do it just because there might be something that I don't know yet. This business is constant learning, constant growing. I don't know. Even now that I'm Diamond, now there's a whole new world that I got to know about going to 1-star Diamond. It's just keep on growing, keep on learning. But there's something I put here. Growing is hard. Growth should be hard. Anything worth doing isn't easy. And that's what I tell, like, all my guys. Like, we can do hard things. We're meant to. We're all ladies on here right now. I don't know how many of you are moms, but we can give birth to a kid. So, and that's another thing. That was what I think Josh Coates said. When you get pregnant, you have a baby, you have to learn how to be a parent. You have to do it. There's no putting that thing back. It's there. You have to figure out a way to do it. So make this business the same thing. You're struggling somewhere, ask for help. Go into the files, look it up. Like, that's why we're a team, guys. You have a question, post it, and you can get everybody else's input. Pretend it's like a new baby. You have to do it. You have to stick with it. You have to deal with it. I don't know. There's my spiel on that.
Yeah, it's prioritizing, right? Like, it's so easy to, because we don't have to do it. And like when I do my no excuses rants, I often say that is that because we don't have to do anything. Nobody's forcing us. It's not like a job, right? When you go to a job and you go to work, you have to do your task. You have to show up to get paid, and you have to do certain things when you're at your job. You don't have to do this. You don't have to open your computer. You don't have to answer your messages. You don't have to do anything. Nobody's there to force you to do it. So it's so easy to neglect it and just to leave it behind. And then all of a sudden, but the problem is with this is it's not something that you can do one day and then not do for a week and then do again and then decide you want to do it. So like for people, like I've had coaches recently who are wanting to jump back in and have decided, okay, I want to do this. They're starting from scratch, regardless of the fact that they were, maybe a coach for 6 months. It's still starting from scratch because that consistency is gone, right? So, and like when Aunt Julie's talks about investing into the business and she talks about like monetary stuff, right? So like paying for that training, paying for Super Saturdays. There's also, this is a whole nother world, but just to kind of like, what we've really been talking about in our team is just how simple going Emerald is and how Emerald is simply a decision. Because first and foremost, like it takes money to make money, right? It takes money to invest to make money. And that's the reality. You can organically grow this business. We kind of like the first, year of my business, I never invested a dime other than like, prizes for my challenge groups or prizes for my coach, or gifts for my coaches, stuff like that. Sure, I invested that way, but I never invested like money into the business. So for example, signing up a spouse. I get it. It seems like if you have a coach and you don't want to sign up your hubby, spouse, sister, brother, mother, anybody, a family member, if you don't want to do that and you just think, oh, well, I don't want to spend the $200 on a challenge pack. Think of it this way, okay? So when you purchase a challenge pack or your hubby does or whatever, now not only are you getting a second program, you're also getting Shakeology, which if you don't want that extra Shakeology, you can sell it for $5 a pop. Jen's internet kicked her off. So you can sell it for $5 a pop. So, and not to mention, because you're Emerald, so you're going to get the payment for adding a coach. So you'll get that payment and you will cycle. So ultimately, if you look at it, you're going to end up paying maybe $50. But it's not even that. It's the long-term effect of it. So for example, Aunt Julie has her husband on, say, her weak leg. It's the same as I have Tom on my weak leg. I can build him, so she has started to build Tom, or she has started to build Sean. I'm confusing myself. And so as she's growing him, she's cycling off of him, and he's getting commission, which is just going into her bank account because she's just adding her stuff. So ultimately, she's investing in a little bit, enough that she's freeing up money where she's like, okay, well, I just made an extra $200 off of basically because I decided to have my husband as a coach. I'm going to invest that $200 business back into the business. So, and I know it seems tough for people who don't understand how, like if you're a new Emerald coach or you don't really understand how the cycle bonuses work or how the volume work, it's a lot of work. I did a training on it. If you guys want to know, if any of you guys are Emerald and you want to do a volume training, I would be more than happy to help you with that because I literally spent 2 weeks straight learning about volume. So, but basically what I'm trying to say is I found with myself, so a few months back, I decided that I was going to invest a certain amount of money into my business. What ended up actually happening was the income that I had been getting prior actually doubled. And that's even after, so I invested $600 into the business every month. That was my thing. I'm going to invest $600 into the business a month. And I ended up quickly making that and then doubling my $600 in a week. So if you want to think about it and, if you have a like page, or you haven't thought about a like page, it's something to consider. If you have somebody who, a family member that says, I don't want to work the business, but I do know a lot of people that I could help, or maybe they could reach out. So for example, Aunt Julie's mother-in-law, she has her as one of her coaches. She doesn't really want to work the business, but ultimately she's going on a trip with like 10 other women. Perfect. Aunt Julie's not going to scoop those people up, but she's going to invest her time into getting those people moving forward. And I get it. We don't all have an extra $600, $200, even $50 sometimes to invest into the business. But if you're not going to invest any type of money into it, which is fine. A lot of people, like Steph Davies, I admire her because I have yet to see a sponsored post by her. I don't think I have ever seen a sponsored post. So she is like the pure example of growing organically, right? So, and that's great. But if you look at, I don't know how many of you follow the Fitzgeralds, the husband and wife, is it Fitzgerald? Yeah. So Kim and, what's his name? Jamie, right. So if you look at them, I can remember going to my second diamond dinner in Toronto and them being brand new diamonds and only started coaching, I think a couple months after me, and they were both already diamond. He is now the top male in the company. He's an 8-star qualifying coach, number 10 in the overall company, but top male. And then Kim is a 3-star qualified. And, you know, and it's just crazy. But those guys are the people, they invest a lot of money into their business. There are ways to do it that way. If you have it and you want to learn about doing it that way, I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys about sponsored posts and how all that stuff works too. So that's going to fast forward your business, but it's also going to put a lot more pressure on you. I don't ever suggest for somebody to be doing sponsored ads and stuff like that if you don't have the time to do it, because you're going to get a bunch of messages, and if you're investing money, you're going to want to invest your time into it too, right? So right now, currently, I'm not investing money into my business at this second, but I will be. And it's like, and you can tell the difference of the speed, right? And same as little things like investing money as far as your challengers. If they know they're going to get a dollar store water bottle for winning your challenge group, they're not going to give a shit about winning your, about really participating in it. It's the same as your coaches. Like if you're, like, oh, yay, I get Shakeology packages. Who gives a shit? Like we all have it. So you really taking that time and thinking about it, because I know for me, it was really special when, when I hit a huge milestone in my business, and to get that gift from Jen, and I'm looking and I'm like, hey, like I got, this mala and this and this and this. And I'm like, this is like a $200 gift that she didn't have to do for me. And that's just what it's all like for us. It's just so good to know that people are proud of you and that we're here to root each other on, right? And that we're pushing each other. So it's all, you do have to, unfortunately, I think it's kind of, Aunt Julie and I talked about it. It's that one topic that we never want to talk about, and that's the investment into it. And I am not for one second going to sit here and try and discourage you guys one bit about the fact that you can't grow this business from just growing it organically, but I am going to tell you it's going to take more time. And that's something that you're really going to have to sit back and think of how much time you want to put into it. For you guys that are working full time, it's tough, right? Like, so that's what happened with Jamie and Kim, is they both worked full time, and they knew that they didn't have that time to invest into it, but they knew they wanted to grow it really quickly. So for them, So for them, it was definitely investing some money into it, right? Now, for those of you that are stay-at-home moms, or you have that time, there's no reason. We always talk about your power hour. You can grow your business in your power hour, but if you're at home, there's no reason not to have a power 3 hour, So, and the more you do, the more you're going to get out of it. So, Tabitha, why are you hiding your face? I love watching your face, because she always has like a pen and paper every time I talk. And then sometimes you'll see your eyebrows go up, or her head will turn, because she's like, I feel like you're talking to me. So, yeah, so it's one of those things that we don't like to talk about, But if you guys want to, again, you guys want to go over like pages, if you want to go over sponsored ads, if you want to go over monetary investments and how that will grow your business quicker, feel free to message me and I will set up a Zoom solely on that. And, you know, Angeli was a prime example this month. Is she did invest some money, but she knew what she would get back from it. And, you know, it's funny because a lot of people, so in the leaders page, I hear a lot is for the first while in their business, everything they earned, they invested back. So they didn't look at this, they started it as they knew they wanted it long-term, but everything they were making in the beginning, they were immediately investing back into the business. And that's, you know, and that's where it starts to step up. So if you're somebody who's selling like a challenge pack, you know, hitting Success Club every month, and you're not an Emerald coach, you're only making like $150 a month. You can't live off of that. You know, you can't build a business off of $150 a month. But, and the way I explain it to my team is what, you know, when they're making 150 selling 3 challenge packs, what if I told you that I've made 10 times that and only sold 3 challenge packs? That's because of team growth and personal growth. And that's by advancing your business, right? So it's not about sales, and you can't make it about sales. And that's why we constantly talk about why we don't, you know, why we build relationships and that we don't sell. Welcome back, Jen. I don't know. She obviously can't hear me. Oh, maybe she can. So that's just the difference. And understanding how that all works is a key point. Like, it's key to do that. And with that comes a lot of growth and a lot of learning and a lot of understanding. And so, yeah, so Jen, I'll just record the, or I'll just, you'll catch up on that piece. I'm not going all over that again. We just basically briefly are talking about, like, you know, investing not only your time, but investing some money into it, and how a lot of people, when they first start out, what you're earning, you invest back, and it's going to expedite the process a little bit, right? So depending on what you want to do. And like for those of people who work full time, that's, you know, that seems like a good idea because you don't have the time that somebody, you know, who's a stay-at-home mom has. So that's always better. Yeah, so Jen, so what we basically said is there's a couple things that we're offering up as far as Zoom and information, and that's like pages and sponsored posts, and talking a little bit more about that. And what was the other thing? Fuck, I can't remember. I don't know.
But back to basics?
No.
For what? What are you talking about? Sorry. Guess what I just did while we were on the call?
Oh, I don't know. What did you do? Sign another coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, you want to know how? Everybody that I've ever talked to, because I was in such a hurry that I followed up with absolutely everybody. So I have like 100 people that I've been talking to. And yeah, everybody's kind of just like, oh, plus I have been adding a little bonus if, you know, people are kind of like, is a gift certificate to somewhere that I think they'll like.
Jen.
So there's my little secret. That's all I'm going to give.
Jen has a question.
Oh, I can't see over here.
So can you explain, like, so you're having all these conversations. Are you mentioning the coaching to them? Are they mentioning it to you? Are you mentioning like challenge packs and then mentioning signing up as a coach? Like, how are you going about all of it?
First, I'm just talking about just anything. I scroll the Facebook, and then, well, actually, I started doing lists. I was so unorganized that I never wrote anybody's name down before. I've started to do that, which I should have done a long time ago because it'd make it so much easier. But yes, so I've started doing lists, and then I write down beside what their reason was when I've asked them about coaching or about Challenge Pack. And if there's a lot of just not right now, money, I don't think I'd be good at it, I'm just not really interested at right, there's something else going on, and then I just check back in, scroll their news feed like I think everybody else says, make sure they don't have a death in the family and you're not catching them at a bad time. Like, look into what you, and then you have something to talk about too. Like, hey, I see that, you know, and then their son's name just won his hockey game or got his first goal or something like that. Engage, show them that you care about them. So there's number one. Number two, most people, because the more you comment and like on their stuff, the more your stuff pops up. So most of the time, people will ask me about what I'm doing anyways. But if they aren't, then sometimes I just leave the conversation and I'll go back to them after. And there's other times that I'll be like, oh, hey, so I'm super excited. Court of Force just came out. I am so stoked for this program. 30 days, you should see this girl's results. And then I get super excited because I'm excited. I did my first video tonight. Loved it. So now that I've tried it, my excitement's going to be through the roof when I talk to everybody. So be excited about it. Like, show them how much you're in love with this stuff. That's a huge thing. Also, instead of just typing, I voice everybody. Get used to voicing people so they can hear you. Like, I had one girl, and she's really, really on the fence. And I voiced her, and it was probably like, I don't know, 6 minutes worth of me talking. And she could hear the quivering in my voice because I was about to cry a couple times because I was almost on the verge of telling her my why. And she got pretty emotional too. And then she's just not ready. So I left it. But when you're showing them, you're opening up to them, you're letting them into your life. Like, that's huge. Like, how would you accept somebody when they say that to you? Because I had some of my challengers randomly be like, one of my first Transformation Tuesday posts, and they wrote me like on a phone, it was like this long of a message of how inspiring I was, and then like, that makes me cry. So then giving me that, what do you call that? I don't know, power? Power is not the right word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it, so we'll go with that. And it just gives me more motivation to go to other people and be like, I helped this person without even doing anything. I helped this person by just posting. So what can I do to help all these other people? So I'm sorry, Jen. I'm all over the place. I'm scatterbrained. Did that answer any of your questions?
Yeah, no, that was perfect.
Okay.
That was awesome. I know a lot of people, that's a big struggle for them to message people. Like, they don't know how to go about starting the conversation and stuff. And yeah, I think it's really important what you said to like kind of build a relationship first. Like, you don't have to message them and be like, hey, buy a challenge pack. But just ask them about, you know, if they went on a trip or just something about their page. And I was just curious, yeah, how you went about it. But no, you answered it. Thank you.
And actually, just one more thing about that too. I've noticed when I start a conversation with somebody, it seems like they pay attention to my posts more. And then they start liking my posts more. So then I can be like, and then Transformation Tuesdays, Throwback Thursdays, every single person that likes or comments, message them. Thank you. Thank you for that like. That means so much. It's hard to put myself out there like that. Like, every single person, and that's huge. Like, with one post, I had 88 people. And then, obviously, I don't message all you guys when you guys love on me, but no, everybody else message, thank them. There will be some that are like, oh, I love what you're doing. You're so inspiring. You make me want to get up off my ass. And I said, well, hey, actually, I have a challenge group starting. And then sometimes that leads to them, sometimes it doesn't. But you know that they're watching. It might take them 2 months, it might take them a year. I think there was somebody that had they're one of their best coaches and they followed them for a year before they signed up. I can't remember who that was. But just don't delete them if they say no. Keep them on. Eventually, they know that you're going to do it. When they're ready, they'll come to you.
Yeah.
Like
Celebrating that's one thing that we really focus in on now, is celebrating the not right nows. Not right now. Look at not right now as a yes, right? And stop looking at it as, because people will often be like, ugh, and then they stop talking to them, right? Because they're all eager to get somebody to jump on board, when really, like, changing your focus to still maintaining the conversation with them. I did that with a girl who simply was just like not interested. She's like, I'm not interested right now, but the new year I'll be excited. And I'd be like, cool. So I woke up the next day and we had been talking about her son. So I just like said, oh, well, how is he today? Because he wasn't feeling good, and still just kept talking. You know, I didn't just stop talking to her because she said, you know, oh, I'm going to in the new year. So, okay, I'll message you in the new year when I want you to join my challenge group. No, it's about building that relationship. And 2 days later, she's like, yeah, I'm not going to wait till the new year. She's like, I keep looking at your posts and I might as well do it now. You know, so it's like, people are so pushy, not meaning to be. I don't think anybody intends to do it, but I think it's more of an excitement, right? When you're like right there and they're like, yeah, I think I might, maybe. So you're like, ah, and then it's like verbal diarrhea and you just like throw all this shit at them, right? And same as like when it comes to bringing up the coaching opportunity. It's one of the hardest things to bring up. Like the easiest thing to do is put them into a what is coaching group, because then you just have to follow up and other people do all the work. But when somebody messages, it's the same as the girl I've had her on my Facebook a long time. She messaged me and she asked me, she's like, do you really make money off this shit? And, you know, I'm like, yeah, for sure. And the conversation just went on. She wanted details. And I just simply said, hey, I'm like, I'll give you all the details you need. I'm like, let's set up a phone date if that makes you feel comfortable. Yeah, because, well, you guys know me. I can talk forever, right? So I'll get you on the phone and I'll make sure that you leave as a goddamn coach. Watch me do my shit. You know, like, I just know that that's the way I can communicate with people. It's tough to send through messages, right? Like, whereas when you talk to people, there's this like excitement in your voice. So I've completely stopped. If people want to know about the coaching opportunity, like genuinely, and not a discount coach, like, yeah, like we can sign up discount coaches, and like a lot of my challengers sign up as discount coaches, or maybe later on are starting to switch over. But talking about like business coaches, people that want to work this business, I can't text it, and I realize that I can't message about it because I don't feel like there's an excitement. And I don't feel it's as believable. And sometimes people would be wondering, like, are they just copy and pasting? You know, because like I get them all the time from the rap girls and like the makeup girls all the time. And I'm like, oh, hey, darling, I've seen you've been, and I'm like, no, I don't even know who you are. So like, so you know, I'm a copy and paste, right? Like they're copy and pasting, and I don't want people to do that with me. So really having that connection, same as like the voice chat. The thing with that is if it's a stranger for me, I'd rather get them on the phone. But if it's somebody that I know, then yeah, I'll just, you know, do the voice chat back and forth. And there's, you laugh and you giggle and you crack jokes and you make that connection, you know. And I think that's what we did a lot of when I was in Alberta, is we would sit there at that kitchen table until our eyes were burning, like burning, before we went to bed, because we sat, when we got back from that Super Sunday and we walked in her, we were eager. We were like, oh my God, we just wanted to go home because we wanted to work. And she just made the decision, right? It was like, okay, we have to do this. How do we have to do it? We had the writing board out. We had everything. We need this, this, and this, and this. And it seems impossible because we're going on 3 days, 2 days, really, a full day's work. And it just, not only did she hit diamond, she hit diamond like she has a solid diamond, you know, like something like 20 in her downline right now, you know, of active coaches, and then solid emeralds, you know. So it's not just, you don't just stop, you keep going. Once she hit it, she never stopped and was like, oh yeah, I get to relax. You got to keep the momentum going. That's what lights the fire. And that's what I know, and I was guilty of. And this was a conversation, and this is what they talked about at the conference, right? It was that everybody makes these simple goals that are attainable and they know they can do. because nobody wants to put themselves out there and say, I want to be diamond in 2 weeks. Nobody wants to say that because they're like, oh, yay, everybody watched me fail because I'm not going to put in the effort to do it. But if you are one of those people that sat down and said, I want to do this, it is possible to do it. And not just by thinking it is, by working your ass off, it is possible. By messaging 10 people is not good, like every day, is not going to get you diamond in 2 weeks. It's not. I can tell you that between, you know, sitting there with Aunt Julie, there was probably 200 messages that occurred in a day. And then not to mention like me pacing around because I was pissed off because she had no idea what volume was going on, and she's basically been sitting there with like, I don't even want to get started because you guys wouldn't understand that, but Jen, you would understand it. But she's been building like the wrong leg and the wrong people, and she's missing out on a lot of money. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it. I was pissed. I threw a hissy fit in the kitchen, but you know, but that becomes, well, I didn't know. She didn't feel she needed to know because her only goal was getting diamond and not learning, why am I getting diamond? Why do I want to be diamond? Do I want to be diamond because that gives me a big sweet post that lasts a whole day that only a quarter of your newsfeed only sees anyways? No, you're doing this to move your business forward. So that's what you have to start thinking of, is not, you have to understand why you want to do it, and you have to work until you do it. So it's one of those things, and you've got to keep the momentum going. And just the last piece for me, he's snoring on the couch. Can you guys hear him? Is one thing that I think that we don't do a lot of is is we don't connect with each other. And the biggest thing for me, and it was the perfect timing in my business that I needed it because I was kind of on a downhill battle, it felt like, was when the two of us connected and both wanted it, a fire was lit. So reaching out to somebody else who wants it just as much as you do, making the time to spend with them, not saying, oh, okay, well, yeah, we should get together in a couple weeks, and then don't do it, you know, like really doing it. Like going out to Alberta, that wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to visit, but if, say she wasn't family, it's like, it's an investment. Like look at it as like, I'm going here to learn. We didn't go out, I didn't go up there for a week, we didn't go out to the bar, we didn't drink, we didn't do all this stuff. We worked. We invested that time in working, and look at what came out of it. You know, and she's now carrying that momentum, and Fierce and Sassy, I can't even keep up with it. It's so busy. That's what you guys need to find, right? You have to find that, that momentum, and find somebody else who's like that, and message them, connect with them, get together. Face-to-face is so much better. So I definitely am all for, like, guys, any of you want to meet up and you want to have like a spiel, because when I talk to people and see the excitement of people, that fires me up too, right? Because there's nothing better than seeing somebody just feel like they're going to accomplish something and want it. And sometimes we need that. So definitely, if you don't have a success partner, search for a success partner. And for now, in the time being, find somebody who's at the same state as you are and wanting the same thing that you do, and roll with them, you know, and do it together. Have phone calls every night, do all of that stuff, because that's your business. You know, like it's, if you can spend an hour on the phone with somebody, even putting each other on speaker and working away, or doing a power hour Zoom, or doing that stuff, and the excitement wears off, you know, and it's really passed along, you know, the excitement from Aunt Julie, you know, doing so well right now. We can all sit there and be like, fucking bitch, I can't get a coach to save my life, and be pissed off at her, right? Like we could, or we could go, fucking bitch, give me your secrets and work with me. Like, let's do this, you know? And that's the way and there's no selfishness in that. There's no, you know, like you push each other, and then you get excited for people, and the vibe just keeps going. The momentum just keeps going, and it will pass off. She's not always going to add this many coaches every month. She's, you know, it's peaks and valleys. But when because I was like, well, you're going to try. Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying you need to prepare for the times that there's not. But then you know it's possible. So she's in a position now, there's no way she could ever give up because she's seen what's possible in 3 weeks. You know, she's built a team that it's huge. You know, it's going to be ups and downs. Is everybody going to stay on board? No, not always. And you're going to feel shitty, but you know what's possible, right? So, but it's huge connecting with people. I think that was a game changer for our team, is phone calls, visits, you know, that stuff. Whereas as not just being virtual buddies, you know, and talking through Messenger all the time, you know, because realistically, you can write me this whole message and I can sit there and go, yeah, I didn't even want to read that. Piss on you and your opinion, right? Whereas when you have somebody, you can actually battle it out. And that's what we did, is we battled it out until we made sure it happened. And you need to make that time for people and for yourself, because you guys see all the other coaches getting together and having date nights. They didn't know each other, you know, and I think those are some key elements right now that the team needs, is some get-togethers and, you know, just having some communication with coaches outside of Facebook, because it's a real life thing. So Molly, I'm coming for you. Yeah. I think I'm sick of hearing my own voice, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a really quick question for Tiffany. Julie, you said you're doing gift cards for like people. How much are you doing? Like how like different or set amount?
$50.
50?
Yep.
Holy fuck.
You know why?
You go. Why?
Because
Oh, but
when
you get it back. You get the fast start bonus. Yeah. Okay.
plus you get your Success Club points.
Yeah.
Plus you are showing them that you, like, it depends on, like, well, this is only for coaches, only
Yeah.
for people that want to sign up as coaches, because I'm showing them that I want to put an investment into them because I believe in them.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, we talk a bit first. It's like,
Oh yeah.
okay, we're true, like, you really want to do this, I really want to see you succeed, so I would give you, you know, this for just showing me that you want to try. I was like, I will help you in any way that I can, and there's so much information, like, you have all of the training you could possibly need.
But not to mention, and like in her position now, right? And what she's doing is, it seems like basically, it sounds like, okay, so she's only investing what she's getting. So like she's getting that back and then she's investing that back right back in. But that's not all she's earning, right? Because as she's doing this, her cycle, building that right leg, like she's got 20,000 sitting there, 20,000 plus sitting there. So she's just building that right leg. So yeah, she's investing that money into them, but then she's earning. She's earning. So yes, it's a slower. So instead of getting, like when she's getting like a $500 weekly check or weekly pay, she's getting that $500, but, and yes, she's investing $4 into it, but that's, you know, ultimately double that again. Now next month she's only investing $400 into it now, or next week she's investing, you know, $400 into it, but she's making $6. So now she's $200. So that's what we're talking about investing. It's something that we're doing a trial and error with it, but you are definitely seeing the increase, right? So taking what you've earned and investing it back into people, because as you're building, and once you're building, you're basically weekly, her paycheck is just going up and up and up and up every week. And it's something that I never thought about it until I literally was like logged into her legs and like watching this and like pinpointing where to put people to cycle and stuff like that. So yeah, that investment, I now firmly believe in investing to get yourself to diamond. I never did before, but I will honestly tell you, after this experience and after doing the math and doing, you know, the cycle and the investment back into it, I firmly believe that you can invest in a solid diamond. And it has now, and now the reason why she's continuing to be on fire, right, is people are seeing her. adding people, adding people, adding people. So now people are having the balls to message her and talk to her. So it's this cycle and this momentum that just keeps going. And it's hyping her up because she's signing up almost a coach a day. So it's just hyping her up, right? And it keeps that momentum going, and she's just investing back. It sounds like she's buying them, but when it comes down to it, she's doubling her income every week is all she's doing. She's doubling it. So yeah, it's nice because we all be like, oh yeah, I made $500 and you want to take it and pay a bill. Well, if I told you that next month you'd be making $1,000 instead of $500 that week, would it be worth it next month? Of course it would be. But people are so fixated on the short-term effects that we did some math. Long-term, investing money into your business, a little bit of money, you're going to double that. And like Jen, if you want to do like a whatever, anybody who wants to, like we can kind of chat math down, break down another day if you want, and how we kind of figured that, because I have been watching a lot of videos on that. It's the same as the sponsored ads, right? That's how Jamie and Kim built their business. They worked full time. They invested $500 to $1,000 in, and they made double that in like one of their first months. They're getting like 108 Success Club points in a month. Of course they are, because they're doing sponsored ads. So they don't have to reach out to anybody. People are coming to them. And yeah, they have, in order to build that relationship to start coaching, yeah, they have to do that relationship building piece. But for just to get people in their challenge groups, they're basically paying to get people to, so they're getting their money back. But that's when they invest in people, is when they're in their challenge groups and they switch them over to coaches. So,
really, sorry, any business, any successful business, you have to invest money. Like, okay, for example, I worked in my dad's chip truck for forever. When you make, I don't know what he makes, but let's just use $100. Say he makes $100 that day. Can he keep that? No. He has to use that. He has to go get supplies. He has to pay his help. He has to, he has stuff that he has to invest back into the business for it to keep on growing. It's the same as any other business. And I think the one thing that made me kind of think more about this was GoPro. If you guys haven't read GoPro, that's another good one for business and investing side of things. Small things done over a long period of time will always, 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 always pay off. He used an example of 3 guys. One guy changed absolutely nothing about his life. The other guy started reading a little bit of personal development and cut down on 1 beer a day. And the other guy said, screw it, and took an extra hour a day to watch TV and drank 2 extra beers a day. Nothing short-term happens. Everybody stays the same. 6 months, 1 year, 12 or 14 months, 16 months. After 2 years, the guy who decided to do TD and cut down that beer had lost 22 pounds. He had got a promotion on his job. He was making more than he was. The guy who changed nothing changed in his life. It was the same, same old boring, let's do nothing, sit on the couch, watch TV as family time. The guy who decided to have more beer and have more TV time, well, he gained 22 pounds. His wife ended up leaving him because, he wasn't making any useful, it's his analogy, right? But really, if you think about it, it's so true. If you cut out 100 calories a day, you will lose weight. It's the same as anything else. You invest $1 a day, you're going to eventually gain money. It's like the doubling the penny. You ever heard that one? You double a penny and then you double it for a month. Never heard? Oh, guys. Okay, I'm going to stop because I can go on forever with that. Read GoPro. It's a good one.
It's just, it's true. I know people probably think it's like, how you have like a savings jar if you throw your money in it, like to go on a trip. The benefit of this though, and when you do the math, is it's a lot quicker than just saving your money. It's not like that, because even though you're investing a certain portion of it, when the growth of your team So yeah, you're investing money, but you do have to invest a lot of time. Like Aunt Julie right now, she's sitting there going, holy shit, how do I get everybody, having to work with that many people? But because the momentum's going, they're seeing it, and that's when you start delegating off, right? And you start pairing up and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that, pick a number. If you can do it, pick a number that you can invest. And you're probably thinking, well, how do you mean invest? The way she's doing is a good way. Sponsored ads is a good way. All of that stuff. There's so many different ways, and there's a lot of videos on how you can invest in Beachbody coaching to build your business quicker. So there's lots of videos. That's what I've been focusing in on. I'm not right now, I at one point was like in 1 month invested like 600 and it was a great month. And and then I just kind of, things have changed, but back to the focus of, okay, I need to think about how I'm going to invest, and want to do it smart too, so that you're still gaining an income. But if you're somebody that's working, and this is a part-time gig for you as you're building it, make the investment. It's so worth it. If you're depending on this to be your income, then it's a little bit different, right? Because that money that you're making is helping you live, right? But if it's something that you can invest, definitely look into different ways. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. So. Yeah, so that's it. I don't feel like I have. Anybody else have any other questions? My eyes are burning. This is me pouting like I'm tired, guys.
9 o'clock's our family time here, so I got to get off anyways.
Okay.
Any
Well,
questions?
thank you both of you. You know what I meant. Lots of good info for sure. And Julie, you, I feel like have just lit a fire for this whole area. So I definitely agree. Sharing, your secrets with us. And it's really just a matter of doing it. If you want it, you just have to do your shit, and
keep in mind, people, she was my first coach, and she was out of the picture for 9 months, gone out of the picture, inactive, not working the business, still a coach, but inactive, and came back and slow started for a while, but because, took on learning, and because she invested her time into learning the business first, this is the outcome, and now it's pushing her to want to learn more, obviously. I mean, she has no choice but to learn now, because now she has a team, a whole team that she needs to lead, right? And in order for her business to be successful, she has to lead successfully. And so it's a lot of pressure for her to learn, but it just goes to show that everybody has their time. So if you've been doing this for 5 or 6 months and you've got nothing, it doesn't mean that you can't all of a sudden bounce back and do that. She's a perfect example. She was gone for 9 months, gone completely, not working out, not, nothing to do with the business, not even getting her Shakeology, and now comes back and is full force. And now I love going there because there's every goddamn flavor of Shakeology everywhere. So yeah, so it's something that it's not everybody jumps right at the beginning, but there's a time for everybody, I believe. And, right now is definitely her time. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm for cereal. My eyes are burning.
I know too.
I just keep looking at Jen's eyelashes. That's all I can think. I want eyelashes like that.
I know. They're kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. They took some getting used to for sure, but the no mascara part's really nice.
Oh. Yeah, because I'm really bad. I barely ever wash my face before bed. And I'm like, oh, goddamn pillow. It's all black and shit. Or like Tom will wake up with like mascara across his face. I don't know. I just lazy sometimes.
I
So
know.
I look forward to that. I think I'll do that before I go away.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
It's my time. I gotta go now, ladies.
Bye,
Okay,
Trinity.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh
And
my
thanks
God.
for
I'm
having
talking like this and I'm recording it. This is ridiculous. I'm stopping recording.
Okay.